Madam Speaker, the underlying bill pays reservists and guardsmen for weekend drills during this government shutdown, but it does nothing to pay the full-time support force. The vast majority of full-time guardsmen and reservists wear a uniform, but are considered civil service technicians. Thus, they're currently furloughed. I spent nearly 36 years serving this great nation's military, 32 of those years in the National Guard and in the Reserve. As a young enlisted airman, later as a junior officer in the Army Guard, I certainly appreciated that paycheck for a weekend of duty. I, like many of the young troops serving today, needed that paycheck. Kind of like the civilian employees at Scott Air Force Base need their paychecks, or the Forest Service workers in the Shawnee National Forest need their paychecks, or the clerks at the Social Security office in Carbondale, Illinois, need their paychecks. The absolute, utter cynicism of the underlying bill appalls me. As the only former general serving in Congress, I'm sponsoring this amendment to correct the underlying bill, which only makes pawns of dedicated American reservists and guardsmen. The only thing that bill does is give the politicians who sponsored it and who vote for it a claim, while they wrap themselves in the flag, to say they're supporting the troops. It's as phony as putting a flag pin on your lapel and claiming that makes you a patriot. The underlying bill is as phony as the bill I voted against Tuesday. That bill was falsely named Honoring Our Promise to Americans Veterans Act. You know, my father was a disabled veteran. He's buried in a national cemetery. My brother is a combat disabled veteran. I'm a veteran. Between the three of us, we have accumulated a total of 65 years of military service to this nation. I tell you, as a veteran, that bill is a disservice to veterans. It cut $6.1 billion from the VA budget, which was already passed by the House. It eliminated funding for VA construction. It eliminated funding for national cemeteries, that cemetery my father's buried in. It eliminated funding for medical and prosthetic research. That bill was a lie to America's veterans and America's voters. I am sick of phony bills designed solely to create political ads. I and my constituents are sick of the messaging that makes bad policy out to be good politics. It is time to drive the money changers from the temple and to bring an end to this sanctimonious foolishness. Just as a soldier refuses to leave his or her battle buddies behind, I refuse to leave all of the people who proudly serve this great nation behind. Stop this charade. Have the moral courage to tell the truth to the American people. The amendment I offer today presents the continuing resolution, which has the Republican budget numbers in it. It would pay not just the part-time National Guard, not just the part-time reservists, but the full-timers too. It puts the 70% of the CIA back to work. It puts the VA back to work. It puts our government back to work. Let's not call this a continuing resolution. Let's call it what it is. Put our government back to work. I ask you to have the integrity to vote yes or no. If you are a patriot behind that American flag pin, have the guts to show it. I yield back.
Gentleman yields.